There is a reason why successful people keep journals, not to record the past, to create the future. Florence Scovel Shinn discovered something most financial gurus will never tell you. Prosperity does not begin in your bank account. It begins on the page. Right now, you might be struggling with money that never seems to stretch far enough. Bills that arrive before paychecks. Dreams that stay dreams because the numbers never add up. You have prayed, you have worked. You have tried to stay positive, yet the breakthrough feels perpetually out of reach. Here is the secret Florence Scovel Shinn knew. The word is your wand, but the written word is your contract. While the spoken word sets the vibration, the written word seals the law. When you write your desires, you do not just speak to the air, you carve them into the fabric of reality. This is not wishful thinking. This is biblical technology. And by the end of this teaching, you will know exactly how to use it tonight. The power of the written word in the Bible runs deeper than most realize. In Genesis, God spoke creation into existence. But when Moses received the law, it had to be written. When the prophets received revelation, they were commanded to record it. Scripture itself exists because truth was committed to writing. The written word creates permanence. It transforms the invisible into the visible. It moves thought from the realm of possibility into the realm of manifestation. Habakkuk 2 verse 2 becomes the foundation of all manifestation teaching. The prophet is told explicitly, "Write the vision and make it plain upon tablets, that he who reads it may run." This is not poetry. This is instruction. Divine Mind gave humanity a specific technology for bringing forth abundance. Write it down. Make it clear. Make it so vivid that action becomes inevitable. Florence Scovel Shinn built her entire ministry on this single verse. She understood what most teachers miss. The act of writing is not documentation. It is creation. Yet most people never write their desires at all. They think about money. They worry about bills. They daydream about freedom. But they never commit those desires to paper with specificity and faith. This is the invisible barrier. Thought alone remains fluid, changeable, powerless. The moment you write, you cross a metaphysical threshold. You declare to infinite intelligence that this is no longer a wish. This is a demand upon universal substance. This is your claim upon divine supply. Why does this matter for your finances right now? Because vague hope produces vague results. You have asked for money in general terms. You have prayed for blessings without definition. You have affirmed abundance while your subconscious mind holds no clear image of what abundance actually looks like in your life. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that the universe responds to specificity. Divine Mind cannot deliver what you have not clearly ordered. Florence Scovel Shinn. Your word is your wand was not just a book title. It was a metaphysical declaration. She taught that every word you speak and write carries vibrational authority, but writing amplifies that authority exponentially. In her practice, she witnessed transformation after transformation when students began scripting their desires. One woman came to her desperate for $10,000 to save her home. Florence instructed her to write the exact amount, the exact date she needed it by, and the exact feeling of relief she would experience when it arrived. The woman resisted at first. It felt too specific, too bold, too presumptuous. Florence responded with the truth that still shocks comfortable believers today. She said, "You dishonor divine supply when you ask timidly." Infinite intelligence is not stingy. Universal substance is not limited. Your hesitation is not humility. It is doubt disguised as reverence. Write the full amount. Write it as if it is already done. Write until your faith matches your need. The woman obeyed. Within 3 weeks, an unexpected inheritance arrived. Exactly $10,000. Exactly on time. This was not coincidence. This was law in action. Florence Scovel Shinn documented dozens of such cases throughout her career. The pattern never varied. Those who wrote their desires with clarity and conviction saw manifestation. Those who kept their desires vague or unwritten saw delay. She understood what Emmet Fox would later confirm in his own teaching. The material world is plastic to spiritual force, but spiritual force requires a mold. Writing provides that mold. Here is where most manifestation teaching fails you. It tells you to visualize, it tells you to feel, it tells you to believe, but it rarely tells you to write. Florence knew better. She knew that the act of putting pen to paper engages the mind at a level that thought alone cannot reach. Writing forces precision. Writing demands commitment. Writing leaves evidence. When you look at your written desire, your subconscious mind receives an instruction it cannot ignore. This is no longer optional. This is decided. Why making it plain? Accelerates wealth becomes obvious when you understand how divine mind operates. Infinite intelligence does not guess. It does not interpret. It does not fill in blanks. It responds to the mental equivalent you provide. If your mental equivalent is fuzzy, your manifestation will be delayed. If your mental equivalent is sharp, your manifestation will be rapid. Writing makes things plain. Writing removes ambiguity. Writing transforms hope into specification. The specificity rule, don't ask for money, ask for the exact amount, changes everything. Florence Scovel Shinn was ruthless about this point. She told her students, do not write, I want to be rich. Write, I now receive $12,500 before the end of March. Do not write, I want financial freedom. Write, I now own a home with 4 bedrooms in a safe neighborhood with a monthly payment of $1,200. The difference is not semantic, it is metaphysical. Specificity activates the law of correspondence. The outer world must match the inner blueprint, but you must provide the blueprint. Emmet Fox on the mental equivalent provides the theological framework for why this works. Fox taught that you cannot experience anything in the external world unless you first possess the mental equivalent of that thing. If you want wealth, you must build the mental equivalent of wealth. If you want love, you must build the mental equivalent of love. Writing is the fastest way to construct that mental equivalent. When you write, I now have $15,000 in my savings account, your mind begins searching for ways to make that statement true. Your perceptions shift. Your decisions align. Your actions coordinate. You are no longer drifting. You are architecting. But here is the truth that will test your faith. Writing as an act of faith means writing before you see evidence. It means declaring income you have not yet earned. It means scripting outcomes that seem impossible given current circumstances. This is where most people falter. They refuse to write what is not yet true. They call it lying. They call it denial. Florence called it faithlessness. She taught that divine mind exists outside of time. When you write your desire in the present tense, you are not lying. You are aligning with the eternal now where all things already exist in potential. Jesus Christ himself demonstrated this principle repeatedly. Before raising Lazarus, he thanked the Father that it was already done. Before feeding the multitudes, he blessed the loaves as if they were already sufficient. He operated from the end. He saw the invisible as visible. He treated the future as present. This is the pattern of all divine manifestation. You must write as if it is finished. You must script as if it has already happened. You must give thanks before the evidence appears. This is not positive thinking. This is spiritual law, overcoming the fear of what? If it doesn't work is the final barrier between you and breakthrough. This fear is real. This fear is rational. But this fear is also the enemy of manifestation. Florence Scovel Shinn addressed it directly. She said, your job is not to worry about how. Your job is not to figure out the method. Your job is to write the desire clearly and then release it to divine mind with perfect trust. Infinite intelligence knows 10,000 ways to bring your desire into form, but it cannot act while you are holding it back with doubt. The 5-minute nightly scripting routine brings this ancient wisdom into your daily practice. Here is exactly what you must do tonight. Before you sleep, when your subconscious is most open, you take 5 minutes to write your financial desires in the present tense. Not I hope to have, not I want to receive, but I now have, I am now receiving. I give thanks that my income is now $10,000 per month. I give thanks that my debt is now completely dissolved. I give thanks that financial opportunities now flow to me easily and continuously. Write it by hand if possible. Typing works, but handwriting engages the brain differently. Handwriting slows you down enough to feel each word. Handwriting creates a physical record you can return to. Write the same desires every night. This impresses the mind right before it drifts into the silence of sleep. Do not change them. Do not edit them. Do not add new ones until the first set manifests. This consistency trains your subconscious mind. This repetition builds the mental equivalent. This discipline separates casual wishers from serious manifestors. Catherine Ponder expanded on this teaching in her prosperity work. She instructed students to create prosperity wheels, prosperity maps, treasure books. All of these methods involve writing and visual representation. Why? Because the conscious mind thinks in words. The subconscious mind thinks in images. When you combine written statements with visual symbols, you speak to both levels of mind simultaneously. You accelerate manifestation. You remove internal conflict. You unify your entire being around a single intention. Louise Hay took the principle even further with mirror work and affirmation cards. She had students write their desires on index cards and place them where they would see them throughout the day. Bathroom mirror, car dashboard, computer monitor, wallet. Each glance reinforces the mental equivalent. Each reading strengthens the neural pathway. Each repetition deepens the conviction. This is not obsession. This is focused creation. This is how you override years of poverty consciousness with a new prosperity paradigm. Testimonies of written manifestations fill the archives of New Thought history. A businessman wrote that he needed $50,000 to expand his company. He scripted it nightly for 6 weeks. An investor he had never met contacted him out of nowhere with an offer. A single mother wrote that she needed childcare and a job that paid $25 per hour with flexible hours. Both appeared within 2 weeks. A retiree wrote that he needed his health restored and his financial stress relieved. His medical condition improved dramatically, and an old pension he had forgotten about was suddenly released. These are not anomalies. These are demonstrations of law. The metaphysical resolution is this: you are not trying to manipulate the universe. You are not forcing outcomes. You are not engaging in magical thinking. You are applying a biblical principle that predates modern psychology by thousands of years. When you write your desires with clarity, conviction, and faith, you activate the law of manifestation that governs all creation. You align your consciousness with divine mind. You give infinite intelligence a clear directive. You become a co-creator rather than a victim of circumstance. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that every person walks through life with a word of power. That word can build or destroy. That word can bless or curse. That word can open doors or seal them shut. Most people speak and write carelessly. They script lack through complaint. They manifest delay through doubt. They create poverty through their own negative declarations. But you now know better. You now understand that your written word is your wand. You now possess the secret that successful people have used for generations. The conclusion is inescapable. If you want wealth, you must write wealth. If you want freedom, you must script freedom. If you want transformation, you must declare transformation on paper with the full authority of faith. The universe is waiting for your instruction. Divine supply is waiting for your claim. Infinite intelligence is waiting for your clarity. Do not wait until you feel ready. Do not wait until circumstances improve. Do not wait until doubt disappears. Write tonight. Write before you sleep. Write as if your future depends on it. Because it does. If this teaching has shifted something in you, if you recognize the power in this ancient biblical secret, then join this community of manifestors. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss the next revelation from Florence Scovel Shinn's profound legacy. We are building a movement of people who refuse to live in lack. We are reclaiming the spiritual technology that religion forgot and the world dismissed. You belong here. Your breakthrough belongs here. Click subscribe now. Florence Scovel Shinn left us with words that echo through eternity. You will be a failure until you impress the subconscious with the conviction you are a success. This is done by making an affirmation which clicks. Write your success tonight. Script your abundance before sleep. Declare your victory on the page, and watch as the invisible becomes visible before your very eyes.